Just take a moment to consider that 85% of individuals struggle with poor self-esteem at some point in their lives, frequently due to the constant barrage of negative self-talk. That means that over 90% of us are locked in a vicious cycle of uncertainty, self-criticism, and emotional setbacks. This number forces us to stop and consider what is actually going on in our brains. What is it about our inner conversation that has such influence over our potential and happiness? Today, we are setting out to address one of the most prevalent problems in modern life: the dominance of negative thoughts. This is about genuinely enabling yourself to live a life that feels purposeful, rewarding, and free from the bonds of uncertainty and doubt. To find solutions, we look to the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. It's not only about calming the harsh voice of your inner critic. Although we may not have control over the outside events in our lives, we do have complete control over how we interpret them. These ancient philosophers and mental warriors in their own right realized something profound. Our thoughts are not just background noise. They are the architects of our perceptions, the basis of our emotions, and ultimately the creators of our experiences. The Stoics were excellent at this, teaching us how to face life's obstacles with courage, reason, and inner peace. In this session, I'll help you comprehend the effects of negative ideas and, more significantly, look at practical methods based on Stoic philosophy to eliminate them. Together, we'll learn how to take back control of your inner story, fostering an attitude driven by virtues like knowledge and courage, rather than fear or self-doubt. Temperance and justice. This isn't just another inspirational speech. It's a call to action, an opportunity to confront the ideas that have prevented you from moving forward, and a chance to find a new path that is both realistic and transformative. If you're skeptical, I understand. It's normal to doubt change, but I urge you to stick with me. Before we delve in, let's take a moment to share this trip. What we'll examine today may challenge some deeply ingrained tendencies, but it will also open the door to personal growth on a scale you would not have imagined. If you know someone who is on their own journey to self-improvement, share this video with them. Together, we can empower them. If these insights speak to you, please do us a favor and click the subscribe button to support this channel and become a part of our expanding community of purposeful, thoughtful people. Together, let's embark on this potent adventure, gaining the means to silence negativity and live a life motivated by clarity, strength, and purpose. Negative thinking is more than just a passing annoyance or depressing state of mind. It's a widespread problem that can significantly affect all aspects of our lives, from how we feel when we wake up to the decisions we make about our relationships, careers, and health. However, at its core, negative thinking is a pattern of expecting the worst, undermining our own efforts, and frequently assuming we are less capable or deserving than we actually are. Why do we fall into this trap? The Stoic philosophers held that our discomfort comes from our interpretations of circumstances rather than the facts themselves. Epictetus famously stated that men are disturbed by their perceptions of things rather than by the things themselves. This viewpoint is crucial to comprehending our issue with pessimistic thinking. It's not always reality that holds us back. It serves as the prism through which we see the world. Carl Jung's psychological research offers more understanding. He discovered that a large portion of our pessimistic thoughts originate from the less conscious, personal, and collective unconscious regions of our minds. According to Jung, until you bring your unconscious beliefs and biases into the light of conscious examination, they will control your life, and you will call it fate. By doing so, we can start to lessen their influence over us. Take a moment to think about how this affects our daily lives. When confronted with a contest, any negative thinking can hinder us from taking the very steps that could lead to success, by making us feel as though we've already lost before we've even started. It's similar like rowing a boat with all of your strength, but not comprehending that you're tethered to the beach, and that no matter how hard you try, you won't get far. Stoicism instructs us to critically and rationally analyze our ideas in order to challenge the veracity of these unfavorable presumptions. Let's not undervalue the impact of our Societal and cultural backdrop in a world full of messages about not being enough, whether it's not successful enough. Marcus Aurelius encourages us to critically examine our thoughts and to reject those that are unreasonable or unhelpful. This type of introspection helps us break free from destructive thought patterns and regain control over our mental landscape. Enough wealth or intelligence. It's simple to understand how negative ideas could infiltrate these communications. Frequently discover that doubt and insecurity are fertile ground in the mind that can suffocate our potential, but Stoicism gives us the means to eradicate these weeds and grow a garden of more uplifting, encouraging ideas. We're addressing the problem of negative thinking today. It goes beyond simply ignoring or avoiding negative thoughts to include comprehending them, challenging them in depth, and then substituting them with logical, constructive thought. Understanding the causes of negative thinking is crucial if we are to effectively address it. This isn't just about identifying bad habits. It's about uncovering the deep-seated roots that shape our perceptions and influence our mental landscape. As we move forward, let's remember that every thought we choose to entertain and every one we decide to challenge is a step toward the kind of life we truly want to live. This Stoic approach isn't just about coping. It's about thriving by mastering our thoughts. We master our perceptions, which in turn determine our thoughts. Negative ideas might originate from many different places. Our upbringing, social pressures, past mistakes, and occasionally the seemingly insignificant remarks made by people around us can all sow the seeds of doubt, fear, and limitation that can grow into a chronic state of negativity. Many of us are exposed to situations that may not be healthy from an early age. Encourage self-worth by thinking about a child who is constantly told they are not intelligent enough, or an educational system that seems to reward perfection alone. These experiences can profoundly alter our perspective on the world. We are what we repeatedly do, according to Aristotle, so excellence is not an act, but a habit. If we apply this way of thinking to the mind, we can see that persistently negative thoughts can develop into a habit of viewing ourselves and our abilities in a diminished light, and that our own experiences of rejection and failure can reinforce these negative scripts. A negative mental dialogue that whispers, "I knew I couldn't do it," might be confirmed every time we experience a setback or receive criticism. This could become a self-fulfilling prophecy, not because we are incapable, but rather because we start acting in ways that support our unfavorable opinions. Plato's theory that the mind creates reality, and that we can alter it by altering our thinking, is quite pertinent in this situation. By scrutinizing and questioning how we perceive these occurrences, we can begin to undermine the basis of our pessimistic thoughts. Fear is also a major factor in the development of pessimistic thinking. It's a natural defense system that frequently turns into excessive worry or anxiety that impairs our ability to think clearly. Fear of not succeeding, dread of rejection, and dread of the unknown can also cause catastrophic thinking, in which the mind races to the worst scenarios. Stoicism provides a defense against the premeditation of evils, which is imagining the worst-case scenario in great detail to mitigate its emotional impact should it materialize. Carl Jung proposed that your life will be guided by your unconscious until you bring it into awareness, which you will refer to as fate. Many of our negative thoughts stem from unconscious beliefs that were shaped during our early years by our guardians, teachers, and the media. These beliefs are frequently unquestioned because our conscious mind is unaware of them completely. Making them conscious can take away their influence and give us back control over our thoughts. Furthermore, we live in a society that frequently emphasizes competitiveness and scarcity, setting extraordinarily high expectations that sometimes seem unachievable. This atmosphere can result in continual comparisons and emotions of never being good enough. Stoicism encourages us to judge success by our own personal development rather than by comparing ourselves to others, teaching us to shift our focus from outward validation to internal virtues. Although the causes of negative thinking are numerous and intricate, encompassing past experiences, emotions, deep-rooted anxieties, and social messages, we can start to comprehend and uncover these negative thought patterns by utilizing the knowledge of Western philosophy and psychology. especially the emphasis on managing our perceptions and responses. This profound understanding not only lessens their effects, but also gives us the ability to rebuild our mental framework in a more resilient and positive manner. When we talk about renewing our minds, we're not merely advocating for a short-term effort to think more optimistically. Rather, we're calling for a significant and long-lasting change in our internal dialogue. This is about developing a mindset that allows us to not only survive but also thrive. The Stoic thinkers provide timeless advice on how to accomplish this through the disciplined practice of thinking back on our thoughts and purposefully modifying them to promote peace and resilience. One of the main principles of Stoicism is the notion that our feelings and responses are the outcome of our judgments, which we have the ability to alter. As the Stoic emperor and philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have control over your thoughts, not external circumstances." This strong statement serves as a reminder that rejuvenation is possible if you realize this and find strength in it. Starts by taking charge of our thoughts, checking them for accuracy, and then bringing them into line with our actual goals and principles. Aristotle offers another insightful viewpoint when he states that self-awareness is the foundation of all wisdom. This introspective journey entails examining our thought patterns in great detail to determine which ones support and which undermine our efforts. By increasing our awareness of our ideas, we can start to confront the negative ones that may have developed over time. The goal of this process of questioning and altering our thoughts is to better understand and manage our emotions rather than to suppress them. Additionally, Carl Jung's understanding of the human psyche elegantly enhances this Stoic wisdom. Instead of fighting against bad thoughts, Jung maintained that what you reject not only endures but also gets bigger. Stoicism instructs us to accept them, examine their source, and judge their veracity. This basic technique keeps these ideas from lingering in the recesses of our unconscious mind, where they could develop unchecked. Renewing the mind also necessitates interacting with things and pursuits that promote growth and optimism. This could be reading intellectual works that test our knowledge, creating art that uplifts us, or just reflecting and meditating. These pursuits offer fresh viewpoints and storylines that can take the place of our outdated, unproductive ones. By consistently challenging our beliefs and the ideas that arise from them, we participate in a process of mental renewal that keeps our minds sharp and our spirits in line with our philosophical objectives. This is where Socrates' emphasis on leading an examined life comes in very handy. This constant scrutiny is not only a chore but a lifestyle that maintains our internal. The world is renewed and more sensitive to the truth of our experiences. Plato also underlined the significance of conforming to the ideal forms of justice. In a similar vein, beauty and goodness can be viewed as an endeavor to align our thoughts with the most moral and powerful versions of ourselves. By striving for these ideals, we create a self-concept that is strong, compassionate, and profoundly wise. To put all of this into practice, we can begin each day with a straightforward affirmation or Stoic reflection that establishes the tone for the kind of thoughts we want to cultivate. Whether it's a quote from Epictetus about the strength found in facing our shadows, or a Yugan mantra that reminds us of the power found in facing our shadows. These routines serve as the foundation for a refreshed mind. This idea entails deliberately selecting the people, places, and media that promote and improve our mental and emotional health. Being as wise as Seneca is known to be, surround yourself with people who will help you grow. This advice pushes us to choose our business carefully and to build connections that push and inspire us to advance. When Aristotle talked about friendship, he divided them into 3 categories: friendships of utility, pleasure, and good. He also touched on the significance of the company we keep. Mutual respect and admiration of each other's virtues form the foundation of the highest and most valuable type of friendship, known as the friendship of the good. These relationships inspire us to become better versions of ourselves and are essentially positive because they are based on a shared pursuit of excellence and virtue. Furthermore, Plato's cave allegory teaches us about how our surroundings can significantly alter our perception of reality. The people who lived in the cave thought that the shadows cast on the walls were reality, because that was all they had been exposed to. However, when one of them escapes and sees the outside world, he realizes the limitations of his understanding and is able to reach a higher state of knowledge. This metaphor beautifully illustrates how expanding our surroundings to include positive and enlightening influences can profoundly change our perspective and understanding. Carl Jung's theories regarding the collective unconscious and the archetypes also shed light on the significance of surrounding ourselves with positivity. According to Jung, our psyche is shaped by shared memories and ideas that formed the collective unconscious. These shared natural elements shape how we perceive the world and ourselves. By choosing supportive and positive environments, we can influence the archetypes that dominate our personal narratives, moving them away from ones that emphasize fear and inadequacy and toward ones that embody strength and self-actualization. In practical terms, surrounding ourselves with positivity entails doing things that reinforce our life goals and philosophy. It entails taking part in online and offline groups where conversations are based on support and helpful criticism rather than negativity and criticism. Choosing books, movies, and television shows that uplift and educate us, instead of ones that sow dread or despair, calls on us to be watchful of the media we consume. It also entails establishing an atmosphere at work and at home that reflects the principles and qualities we value. This can be as easy as maintaining a tidy and orderly living space, which, in accordance with Stoic practice, reflects a tidy and orderly mind, or it can entail adorning our spaces with artwork and symbols that serve as a reminder of our philosophical commitments, such as courage, moderation, wisdom, and justice. In his timeless words, "Hang on to your youthful enthusiasms. You'll be able to use them better when you're older." Seneca suggests that by surrounding ourselves with positive people, we are essentially preserving or nurturing our enthusiasms that are in line with our better qualities. This not only improves our own lives but also sets an example and a beacon for those in our circles, which spreads positivity as we work to overcome negative thinking. As Epictetus so eloquently states, "First, tell yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." This simple instruction highlights a vital Stoic principle. The Stoics remind us that understanding and intention alone are insufficient. Action is necessary. Our values must be demonstrated by our actions as much as our thinking. Acting in a Stoic manner entails adopting attitudes and actions that support our philosophical principles. It entails making conscious decisions each day that are consistent with our values of wisdom, justice, courage, and moderation. By demonstrating these qualities in our deeds, we combat the negative ideas that hold that we are weak or undeserving, and rewrite our story to one of empowerment and self-efficacy. In his Doctrine of the Mean, Aristotle also highlights the importance of action. According to Aristotle, virtue is a state of character that results from the habitual practice of choosing the mean between excess and deficiency. This practice is inherently active because it makes us just by carrying out just actions. Action is not just a display of virtue, it is the process by which virtue is developed. Brave by acting with temperance. Through his theory of forms, which holds that to know the good is to do the good, that is, that true knowledge, once attained, inevitably leads to right action, Plato also sheds light on the transformative power of action. By bringing our actions into line with our Stoic understanding of good, we elevate not only our minds, but our entire being. For Jung, Carl Jung's idea of individualization, the psychological process of fusing the conscious and unconscious to reach self-actualization, further emphasizes the need for action. This integration happens not only through contemplation, but also through experiences with the outside world that test our preconceived notions and force us to change. He contends that you are what you do, not what you say you'll do, emphasizing that our true selves and psychological maturity are manifested in our deeds. So Stoic action entails more than just battling negative thoughts. It involves actively exhibiting the qualities that characterize Stoicism. It involves making decisions both big and small that demonstrate a dedication to philosophical integrity and self-improvement. such as speaking kindly in trying circumstances, facing a long-standing fear, or forgiving someone who has wronged us. Every action we take moves us closer to becoming the person we want to be, and adopting Stoic action entails accepting the challenges life presents as chances for personal development rather than running from them. To put it practically, taking Stoic action can be as easy as setting daily goals that reflect our values, participating in community service that fosters justice and kindness, or maintaining disciplines like journaling or meditation that encourage reflection and self-retreat. These actions not only counter negative thinking but also build a stronger, more virtuous self. Stoic philosophy emphasizes that it's not only our actions that reflect our virtues but also our speech. To Stoics, these are arenas in which to practice virtue. Each challenge is a call to action, an opportunity to exercise patience, resilience, or reaffirming commitment to our principles. It is impossible to overestimate the power of words in influencing our reality. Epictetus advocated understanding the significance of what you say before speaking. This principle highlights the power of words to affect others, in addition to expressing our feelings and thoughts. The Stoics recognized that words had the power to either strengthen or weaken our inner citadel. In his personal writings, Marcus Aurelius frequently considered how to communicate effectively and accurately, stressing that by coordinating our speech with the qualities we uphold, such as kindness, self-control, and honesty, our words should be seasoned with these qualities. Encourage us to maintain our composure and spread its benefits to people around us. With his ideas of ethos, posos, and logos, which emphasize the persuasive power of speech, Aristotle also adds to this discussion. He maintained that credibility ethos, or emotional bond. According to Aristotle, posos are essential elements of good communication because our speech patterns and word choices influence and shape the environment around us, in addition to conveying information. Plato's dialogues also demonstrate a profound understanding of the power and precision of language. For example, his Socratic conversations show how Socrates challenged presumptions and revealed deeper truths through dialogue and questioning. Plato demonstrates to us that, from a psychological standpoint, we may help others become more knowledgeable and self-aware by having thoughtful conversations. Carl Jung's psychological ideas align with the Stoic emphasis on careful communication. Jung wrote a great deal about the unconscious's power and how language can both reflect and influence the unconscious forces that govern our actions. He thought that by bringing these forces into conscious awareness via discussion and introspection, we could more effectively integrate our psychological elements, resulting in greater wholeness and health. The influence of words is not limited. The language we use to speak to ourselves has a big impact on how we see ourselves and how we feel, even outside of social encounters. A common human experience, negative self-talk can be especially harmful, lowering motivation and heightening feelings of powerlessness. On the other hand, constructive self-talk based on Stoic virtues can. The power of words in Stoicism is not only theoretical but also incredibly practical. It encompasses our conversations with others, our internal monologues, and even the way we interact with a wider culture. Empower and uplift. Positive affirmations are a practice that is frequently advised in contemporary cognitive behavioral therapies. These affirmations are not about fooling oneself with unrealistic statements, but rather about reinforcing the strength and resilience that come from a Stoic understanding of control and virtue. As we continue to develop Stoic qualities, let us be always aware of the transformational power of our words to shape ourselves, affect others, and create a world more in line with reason, virtue, and wisdom. Every word we pick has weight, either building or breaking down, enlightening or hurting. We appreciate your participation in this life-changing exploration of the profound wisdom of Stoic philosophy. Today, we have looked at the timeless principles that serve as a reminder of the tremendous control we have over our own lives, including the ability to act with purpose, choose our words wisely, and face difficulties with grace and courage. Keep in mind that the decisions you make every day, both in terms of your thoughts and your actions, form the foundation of a resilient and virtue-driven existence. As you proceed, keep in mind the lessons we covered today and use Stoicism to serve as your constant compass as you navigate the challenges of life. turning every failure into a teaching moment and every obstacle into a chance for development. If today's discussion struck a chord with you, I urge you to continue your investigation. Our next video explores the Stoic approach to overcoming adversity, a topic that can further help you align yourself with your highest values and get closer to the person you want to be. Give you the tools to face life's challenges with unwavering composure and inner strength. It's only a click away to embark on your journey into this transformative philosophy. This channel is more than just a platform. It's a community where we are building a shared commitment to wisdom, growth, and strength. By interacting with these teachings, you're not only improving your own life, but also helping to create a ripple effect of clarity and resilience that motivates people around you. As you continue to forge ahead, know that you are not alone. May you find peace in your journey, clarity in your thoughts, and strength in your actions. I appreciate you being an important member of this community and choosing to live virtuously and intentionally. Stay strong and remain stoic, and I'll see you at the next one.